What's up guys? Today we're going to be teaching you that trick, frontside rock and roll. For this trick, you have to be able to know how to do a rock to fakie, fully decked out preferably, and how to do a frontside pivot. I'm not talking about a frontside carving turn, I'm talking about a full straight up, straight down frontside pivot. If you clicked on this video, it means that you've either already tried this trick and are having troubles with it, and or want to just get the right steps when you start learning it, which is good either way. And I'm going to talk about some of the ways that you might be struggling with and how to help you. So one of the ways you might be struggling is that you cannot fully turn out of the front rock. You'll land sideways 90 degrees. You won't be able to get that full frontside 180 out. And the second way is that you're not fully decking it. Kind of just putting your front truck on, hanging up, and then turning. And you don't want that. You want like an actual full frontside rock, because that's the best way to do it. It looks the best, and it also feels way safer that way. So I'm going to show you that right now. What I meant by a frontside pivot rather than a frontside carve is when you go up, you don't want to do this, right? You don't want to go up and do a frontside carve turn, which is basically come at an angle and you turn like that. So you're carving at it, right? You don't want that. If you do it like that, it's going to be way harder to get your body in the correct positioning and steps for this trick. What you actually want to do is you want to come up the ramp going at a straight angle and pivot on your back wheels all the way around. So straight up, straight down without going at any angle to this trick. So just like straight up, straight down. That is how you're going to actually be able to learn this trick properly. All right, so I'm going to show you some examples of that frontside pivot, and you're going to want to start low and then work your way up higher and higher. And what your goal is to be able to get as far of your front truck over the coping without actually going to rock and pivoting back. So I'll show you that right now. And once you get that, you can start doing the second step of this. Probably the most important part of this trick is your upper body, especially your shoulders. So when you're doing this trick, your shoulders have to be in a very specific position in order to get this turn out of the front rock. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So when you're going up to it and you're learning, your shoulders are probably going to be straight and sideways. That's how you do a rock to fakie. That's how you're usually comfortable on your skateboard. However, that can't be right for this trick. You cannot do this trick like that. To do this trick properly, you have to be coming up to the ramp facing this way, and instead of shoulders squared, turn this way. This is how you're going to have to head toward the ramp. You're going to have your shoulders opened up, looking straight at the coping, because what happens is when your shoulders are looking straight at the coping like this, when you lock in to the front rock, you're going to be leaning backward, and your shoulders will already start to dip and turn. So instead of having it like this, you lock in, your neck is twisting this way, it's way harder, it's a lot more of a turn. You're already opened up into the rock, your head's already turning, and it's easier to just whip that upper body out. And I'll show you that right now on flat. So my shoulders are completely straight right now, and watch what happens when I try to get that pivot turn. It's a lot more work, it's a lot harder. I gotta whip all the way around, you know? I mean, it's gonna be way more difficult rather than if your shoulders are already in that turn. See how they're opened up? It's a little small. I mean, it's a small little turn compared to the full turn. And it might be a little bit scary because you're opening your body up to the coping, but I promise you in the long run, having your shoulders like that, it's probably the most important step of this trick. Let's talk foot positioning, guys. Foot positioning is very important for any type of trick you're learning. This trick is no exception to that rule. Foot positioning is extremely, extremely important. I'm gonna show you where I put my feet and where I believe you should have your feet as well when you're learning this trick. So the first thing is, don't have your feet completely squared off like this. That's a bad thing. You're not gonna be able to turn as well that way. I like to have my front foot placed at this angle right here, kind of turning almost like the angle of a kickflip, but really cover. So your big toe is gonna be right near the edge and your heel over here. And then your back foot also is not gonna be straight like that. Your back foot is also gonna be at a slight angle. And that's really important too, because both your feet are kind of at this slight angle, and it's gonna open up your shoulders. So with all of it together, whole body is at an angle. So my shoulders, my legs, my knees, all of it's winded up at this angle. So I'm opening up for the trick. And when you have it like that, it's easier to turn out. So your back foot is super important in this trick. In fact, it's the entire leverage of this trick. Now you can put your back foot kind of off the tail or in the center, but as long as it's at this angle, it's really important. Now you're gonna be lifting your heel up during this trick. You're gonna be pressing a lot of weight on your big toe. All your weight is really gonna be bearing down on the ball of your foot. So instead of my foot being flat like this on the tail, wherever it is, I actually wanna have it arched up, pushing all the way on the ball of that foot, because that's actually where you turn and put all your leverage at. So when you turn the front rock, you're gonna be really pushing up. You're gonna see your heel lift and that's how you know you're doing it right. That's the last step of the stance and the area that makes this trick work that you can practice on flat ground is the knees. So now you've already gotten your shoulders squared out and open, you got your feet set up, ball of your foot ready. Now, your knees. When you bend your knees, you're gonna be leaning backward. So when you do the front rock, you're not leaning forward at it, you're leaning backward at it. You get in, your knees will lock up in this kind of position, almost like half kneeling, and that is when you know you're doing it right. So half kneel, so you go from looking straight, boom, half kneel, and now you're like this. Your shoulder, your head, all of it can turn that way, and you're able to just kind of whip, perfect frontside turn, and that's how you do the trick. You can even practice this trick on flat, as I'm showing right here. You can see that my shoulders are opening up. You can see the full turn and the full motion of it even on flat ground. So practicing on flat definitely could help. So another really, really important part of this trick is how your front leg extends. When you go down using your knees in that kind of half kneeling position, this leg's gonna go down, but this leg's gonna go forward. So this leg's gonna push forward onto the deck. So you're gonna be kind of like that. It's really hard to show on flat. You're gonna be straight front leg, back leg bent. And I'm gonna show that on the screen right now, but it's really hard to do it on flat, to be honest, but it's a lot easier when you're on the ramp and you're leaning back. You can push that front leg up. All right, so now we're gonna analyze how doing the frontside pivot turn with your front wheels above the coping is the exact same upper body movement as doing the frontside rock and roll, like the full trick. And I'm gonna show you that right now. So this is the frontside pivot. Come up, turn at the top, upper body, everything. And then do the front rock, watch my upper body, same thing. Boom, perfect. Same exact way every single time. You can do it all. It's all about where your upper body lands. It doesn't really matter how you get into the front rock. It's about how your upper body is when you're in it. Let me show you an example. When you get into the front rock, however you get into it, as long as you can set those shoulders right, those feet in that general area of the position I was telling you, not necessarily perfect. Like say you're doing a flip in, anything like that, it's really upper body mostly. I mean, the feet positioning definitely matters. Upper body is the most important part, the shoulders opening up. So I'm gonna show you right now, I can get into a rock to fakie in the weirdest way, all this strange stuff, but as soon as I set my shoulders, it's all the motion. So right here, you can see my front foot's wrong, I'm leaning forward, I'm in a weird position, my shoulders are squared, but as soon as I start turning my shoulders, look at this. It's still the exact same turnout every single time, no matter where your feet really are. As long as your shoulders are turned and you get that whip out, you're good. The thing about this trick is once you learn it, you can do it non-stop, without fail. And it's the same every time. You can just keep coming up, going and going. Look, I never will fall. Same way, no matter how you get into it, too. Go fakie, same way. So let's talk about a little bit of the history of this trick, because I think that the history of tricks is just as important as you doing them yourself. You gotta know where it came from, and also it's just really fun, and it's an amazing thing. Go research tricks, it'll blow your mind. It's incredible. The first ever documented photo is in 1981 of Richard Armijo doing a frontside rock and roll. I'm putting that on the screen right now. It's an amazing photo. It's incredible. And it was taken by Stesic, and it was just, that was the first one ever documented, right? However, the first one ever done was by Eddie Elguera, or El Gato as his nickname is, and that was the first one that anybody ever saw done. But the first ever documented photo was by Richard, so I don't really know because I wasn't there. But that's just some fun little history about this trick. This trick is one of my absolute favorite tricks. I do it pretty much everywhere. In fact, I kind of have a problem with doing it too much, but where's doing it too much? Skateboarding is all about how you want to do it. It's all about having fun, no matter what way you do it. If you want to do the same trick every single day, who cares? It's about making yourself happy, because that's what we all are in this for. So yeah, that's one of my favorite tricks, and I hope you guys learned it from this video, or it helped you, whatever step you were in. If this video did help you, please leave this video a like. It really helps me a lot. If you have any more questions or you're struggling with a certain part of this, comment down below, and I'm gonna try to get back to you as soon as I can to try to help in any way I can. And yeah, I mean, share this video with a friend you also think would want to learn this trick, and or just help support the channel. You know, subscribe, like this video, it really helps a lot. And I really hope you guys get out there, learn frontside rock and rolls. Probably one of my favorite tricks of all time. It looks amazing, it feels amazing. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Stay alive. Later.